welcome back to Wattpad Wednesdays. I noticed on my video all about getting more reads on Wattpad that a lot of people in the comments were confused about how exactly to go about doing read for reads. So I figured I would not only show a demonstration of how I used to go about doing it, but that I would also give some tips, because there are some things that I would not recommend doing, whereas there are other things that make it a lot more enjoyable and just a better process for everybody involved. I will go ahead and insert the clip and the voiceover of how you go about doing read for reads right here.
So all you need to do is bring up Wattpad, go up to the search feature if you're on the website or in the app, and type in read for read. You're going to get tons of results. The first one is as good as any. Feel free to click on any of them. When I click on it, I'm just going to scroll down to the comments in the first chapter, and you see tons and tons of recent comments right away asking for read for reads and comment for comments. Just so you're aware, vote for vote is against the Wattpad terms of service, so you could potentially have your account terminated if you do that. As you can see, there's all different ways to formulate your comment. You have people who post the blurb of their story, people who post the genre that they're interested in reading. You'll also see a lot of comments that say genuine read for read, which means basically what it sounds like, that they want you to genuinely read their story and they will do the same with yours, not just scrolling through the chapters just to boost those numbers, but to actually read and give each other feedback. Back when I used to do read for reads, I would just make a comment that was something along these lines. I would tell what the genre of the book is, the title of the book that I wanted them to read, and I would tell them to just leave me a reply or PM me. If you leave a comment like this, you can either reply to other people's comments or you can just wait for them to reply to your own. So super easy. When you do reply or get a reply, you will probably have a conversation about the number of chapters that you would like to exchange reads for. And if you're doing comments, you will probably discuss how many comments you want to leave, what type of comments, if you want it to be inline, or if you want to leave comments at the end of each chapter with a certain amount of sentences. But that is pretty much everything you need to know when it comes to finding read for reads on Wattpad.
Hopefully that makes it easier for you to go about finding read for reads. Now onto the tips. Some people aren't gonna like it, but it needs to be said. Please do not go around PMing random people or commenting on their message board or on their stories asking them to do read for reads. It's sort of in the same vein as self-advertising your story. If somebody is not actively looking for read for reads, then it's just kind of annoying. Please read the bio, because a lot of authors will have it. I have it in my bio that they do not do read for reads. They don't want to get those unsolicited requests, they don't want their message board flooded with just people asking for read for reads, and they don't want to spend the time replying to those people, telling them, sorry, I'm not interested in this, when they could spend the time replying to their readers and the comments on their stories. So if you are going to do that, at least please check their bio and make sure that they don't have something like that in there. With that out of the way, my second tip is to do read for reads with people who are in the same or a similar genre to the book that you are asking for read for reads on. Not only do you know that they like that genre and that you like that genre, so neither of you is going to get bored reading the other person's story. You both know a lot about the genre, obviously, because you're writing it. You are going to be able to give each other tips, you're going to be more knowledgeable about what you're reading, and your comments are actually going to mean something because it's not coming from somebody who knows absolutely nothing about the genre. Also, if you know that this person likes your genre, then you know that you're way more likely to gain an actual loyal reader rather than somebody who's just going around doing read for reads and really couldn't care less about your book or the genre that it's in because it's not a genre that interests them and they're just doing it to do a read for read, which, you know, a lot of people are going to be like that, and that's fine. That is one of the main reasons that people on Wattpad do read for reads. They're not really looking to discover content, they just want to boost their numbers. Flashbacks to when I said that 1,200 times. But this way you are way more likely to actually hook somebody in and make it so they are interested in your story and they add it to their library, and it's something that they actually keep coming back to even after you guys have completed your read for read deal. And in that same vein, you are potentially going to find a writer that you enjoy reading. Because you are reading in a genre that you like, you might notice, I actually really like this story. I want to keep reading it after this is done, as opposed to if you're reading in a genre that you have no interest in, you're obviously not going to be very enticed by that story, and chances are it's not going to go into your library. If you guys write the same genre and you find that you like each other's stories a lot, you could potentially find a Wattpad friend through this method. So not only are you likely to find a story that you enjoy, not only is your story more likely to be enjoyed, but you may actually form a relationship with somebody that makes Wattpad more fun. My third tip, do not only read for reads, but comment for comment, which you can mention that in your initial comment on the book that you're commenting on for read for reads, or you can just discuss it with the person who you are replying to. Not only does comment for comment help with your engagement, and I'm gonna say it again, boost your numbers, but also because it can really help provide you with insight for your story. You are getting an outside perspective where people are gonna tell you what they think of your characters, what they think of your plot, and that is gonna be really beneficial for you as a writer, and it's gonna help you polish your story to the best that it can be. Especially for somebody who does not yet have organic readers to tell them that stuff and give them their opinions. It's helpful just to get it from people, even if they aren't necessarily going to stick around on your story. When you are going to do comment for comment, you want to make sure to discuss it with the person and be specific. So you'll want to agree on a certain amount of comments and what type of comments, like if you only want to do inline comments or a 3-sentence comment on each chapter of each other's stories, you know, so that way you're really getting some beefy feedback and not just like a laughing emoji in the inline comments, for example. But either way that you want to do it, you can find other people who want to do it that way too. That could apply to a lot of things. My last tip when it comes to read for reads is to not take on too much. I made this mistake a lot when I was doing read for reads. It's where you're so excited to have this method where it is helping your story grow, loving seeing all these comments from people, and you go all out and you reply to like 50 people on a book for read for reads, and you message a whole bunch of people, and then before you know it, you have agreed to do read for reads with 30 plus people. And the reality is that you cannot read through all those people's stories and comment on them and really give any meaningful feedback without exhausting yourself if you're trying to do that 30 times in a day. And plus, it's taking away from time that you could be writing and working on your story or reading something that you actually really enjoy. Also, if you do take on too much, sometimes it's easy to fall behind or forget to read somebody's story or leave one too little comment than you agreed to leaving, and then you have somebody who is upset with you and thinks that you kind of tricked them, and it can just lead to some not so pleasant interactions or you feeling embarrassed because you forgot to do something that you agreed to do. So if you pace yourself and you eliminate the possibility of any of that happening, it'll be much better for you. And the truth is, there's really no hurry. There's always going to be people who are willing to do read for reads, so you don't have to rush into it and try to get 100 read for reads on the first day that you figure out how to do them. You can just do 1 or 2 a day and it'll still help you. On the chance that you do happen to fall behind or something comes up and you can't do a read for read that you agreed to do right at that moment, you're going to be a little late with it, just be communicative with the person, just let them know what's going on and that you will get to their story, and make sure to actually get to it, because otherwise that's kind of messed up. You wouldn't want to agree to do a read for read with someone and they never get back to you. So don't be that person. Those are all the tips that I have for you guys today about read for reads. Thanks for tuning into another Wattpad Wednesday video. I hope I see you in the next one, and I hope that you have an awesome day and that you see a frog. Well, I guess you already have. I hope you see another frog.